I'd like to call this meeting to order. Well, please stand. Alderman Gallagher will lead us in prayer and then followed by the pledge of Alderman Payne.
Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you again for allowing us to meet together, Lord. Thank you for the wisdom that you give each and every one of us. Thank you for the love that you cover each one of us with. Lord, thank you most of all for your Son, Jesus, who died on the cross to save us all from our sins, Lord. Thank you for the gift of eternal salvation, Lord. Lord, we ask your blessings on our meeting tonight. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Abbreviated agenda tonight. So we'll start off with item number 1, the planning agenda.
Apologies for y'all being back again tonight.
Oh, that's all right. We get paid $8.
What we've got here first is a request to amend the PUD text for Snowden Grove Area 15. More specifically, it's going to be your corner of Nail and Getwell, southeast corner. What you see in red highlighted right there is a vacant lot identified as Lot 3, which will be included in this text amendment, and also the existing structure that you have where the shop house is, Lost Pizza, with lofts above them. So that's where the area is regarding the text amendment. The lot in front of it is already under construction for the Lebanon Healthcare Facility. Basically, the applicant is asking for 3 amendments to this text. The first one is where the text states that all lofts will be upstairs and all retail uses will be downstairs. They would like the flexibility, if necessary, to allow for residential on the bottom floor. The applicant would like to basically to use both floors for both scenarios. The text amendment request would allow lofts on the first floor while also allowing commercial indoor office on the second floor if the market demand was there. As we stated, there's been the ENT doctor on the second floor. I think that one is now vacating, and they're going to go on and make that a residential loft, which is still on the first floor, so it's conducive to what's already in the PUD text. 2 is a decrease in the minimum square footage of the lofts. The trend right now is for young professional lofts with studio 1-bedroom designs, which range in size from around 600 square feet to 1,000 square feet, especially in like downtown districts or school district areas. The applicant is requesting to meet this demographic for the new building. As it stands right now, the existing building has a minimum square footage of 1,300 square feet, which provides 2-bedroom lofts upstairs. So in the new unit, where the vacant land is on Lot 3, they would like the capability to decrease that size and provide 1-bedroom and studio apartments. And with that reduction in square footage, obviously the overall density right now is set at 2.3. It would actually increase to 2.45 to allow that square footage footprint. For an overall area for the overall Area 15 residential change from 659 to 700 for the total Snowden Grove. From a staff standpoint, the site is still proposed for mixed use, so the designation is not changing, and staff does not see an issue with allowing flexibility in the use for both the second and first floors. Also allowing for the residential portion on the first floor gives better access for ADA needs of possible residents without the use of an elevator if they so desired. The existing building already has existing office uses on the second floor, so the request is already being somewhat met by the existing tenant space usage. Number 2, staff does believe there's a gap in the demographics of Southaven with young professionals who don't require a lot of space. No children. In researching the trend markets in both Memphis and Nashville around the downtown central business districts, there are mixed-use developments which have the same ideology as this and have been extremely successful. Footprints in those areas range in size from 593 square feet up to 1,200 square feet, which are studio 1- and 2-bedroom designs. The applicant is requesting to incorporate studio 1 bedrooms while leaving the 2-bedroom option as is. Staff believes that the requests submitted by the applicant are not detrimental to the site or the area. The existing lofts on Lot 2 are 100% occupied. There's always a wait list for vacancies, so the demand is there for space along with additional retail and office. 3, it's also a valid fact that an increase in density will bring in more money and energy to the commercial area of this corner, and that also expands into the overall Snowden district idea. Increasing that density provides more pedestrian traffic into this area for the retail and restaurant components. That being said, staff is agreeable and recommends approval. I do know that Alderman Wheeler has been in discussions with both myself and the applicant who is here. So if there's any questions to me or them, we're available.
Can you share a little bit of that? What was your concerns? Go ahead, just whatever your concerns were.
Yeah, my concerns are, one, the apartment moratorium, but I understand the mixed use of this building takes care of that, especially the mixed use of the whole thing. Now, I do have a problem with the frontage of Getwell and Nail on the existing building being apartments on the first floor. I would like to strike that if possible.
So you're saying those would be mandated to remain commercial or office, anything that faces Getwell Road and Nail Road?
So you wanna make a motion to include that?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to make a motion to approve. Yeah, to approve,
Okay.
to have.
Yeah, but with only the front, with.
Over where the Bella Ross is.
Right.
That they move out. I mean, if you looked at the building, it's totally behind the Methodist. It's not as, I don't know who did the drawing at the very beginning, but it's not that a desirable office space, but being behind the building to try to find it.
Right.
But I think the apartments will add to the additional will add to the economy of the existing commercial to keep it strong.
Well, and I would like to say it's also, everything's very speculative on the second building, and with Bonner Healthcare Facility, that large facility going in front of it, there will be some opportunities that people may want office space that's on the front road, on the frontage parts, that they can offer for a little bit more or less money a square foot. So there's more opportunity there because of the healthcare facility, and maybe in that secondary building, you'll see more of that attraction versus like the restaurants and the bars that you're seeing on the road frontage Getwell Nail.
What about parking over there?
Parking is all shared. It's been the plan since day one, including little.
So there won't be any
bars.
additional parking built?
Oh yes, there's additional parking. You'll see it on the design review planning package that you'll see coming up.
Okay.
If you may be able to, yeah. There's your additional parking to this, and it's also got an agreement with cross access to the LeBonner parking. So when you get into a situation where it's nighttime entertainment or something like that, LeBonner's not open 24/7. So there'll be overflow parking as that one as well. But the whole plan for this PUD, when it was originally approved, was that all of these lots had shared parking. So it's been designed to do just that.
Okay.
Can I ask what, the apartments, what kind of price range rent-wise are we talking there for these?
That's gonna be kind of out of my realm. So,
They would be, they will be high. They will be, for the smaller units, I can't remember what we had, but they were.
I live over there, they're
Not cheap.
They're not cheap.
I don't know that I'm in favor of sizing it down. I think, a two-bedroom
Well,
apartment.
the problem is, the reason they're sizing it down is because you already have, for example, I live up there, so I'll be, and of course I'll have those nights, it's okay. But they're 2 bedrooms. Sometimes they're not always full, they're around 1,400 square feet. There is a demand at times for single, like if I had for me as a single man, if I had a single residence over there, I would prefer to have a single often, something a little smaller. As long as it doesn't, for me as an alderman, as long as it doesn't affect the mixed use of PUD, I'm fine with it, but I don't want to open that can of worms either.
well, and I'll also say, as stated in the report, there is a gap in our demographics for people that don't have children, or people that are just out of college, just have their dog or something like that, and don't want to live amongst, a child-based area. And we also have to be very careful in improving anything here with density levels now. There's a demand on DeSoto Central School System. It's already crowded. So one thing, reducing the square footages down and providing like single people or retired people that don't have the yard anymore, that doesn't put more of a strain on the
Well,
school system
and
as
you
well.
also have where myself and a few others live over there, it's just us. So if we had the single loft option, we do that. Whereas people that are on a waiting list, they can come in with 2 people, live in a 2-bedroom. So you have one person occupying 2-bedroom apartments where they would want a 1-bedroom. So
What about the moratorium on apartments?
that's our area.
The moratorium on apartments is based on like a multifamily units. This is not a multifamily unit by definition. This is a mixed use building.
But it really is though, right? If we're
I mean, you have lost above. The moratorium was in place when we approved the original structure, simply because it's the classification of what the unit's actually described as. It's not a multifamily unit, it's a mixed-use unit, with commercial on the bottom and loft on top. So in terms of the moratorium, it doesn't negate what that states.
So
If it was a full residential complex unit, then that would go against the moratorium.
So are we opening the door here by doing this?
No, I mean, like I said, the original unit that was approved right there was, the moratorium was in place when we approved that as well.
Yeah, mixed use is not the same as a regular apartment complex. That's why it's allowed. Same thing we're doing over south.
And I can tell you, the mixed-use structure with the loft apartments, even under the moratorium, was approved in 2005 for that use specifically. So, you know, the zoning's already there for it, the allowance is already there for it. And as long as it remains mixed-use development or structure right there, then it negates the moratorium.
I got a second, so never get a second.
Is there
I make a motion to approve with the changes of the commercial.
It won't be visible, it'll be second
Right.
story all around.
It will look, I mean, you'll see it on the next design. You're talking about what the building will look like?
It won't be second story all the way
It looks
around.
almost identical to the existing
But
building
no
here.
apartments will be on the ground floor, they're all gonna be upstairs.
second?
Do it.
Second.
Second, all right. So we've got a motion by Alderman Wheeler, a second by Alderman Payne. Any more discussion? Any more questions?
Do we know what, we're gonna add that into the,
Well, that's what I said, just for clarification, the motion was to approve the amendments with the comments that, the contingency that all of Getwell Road and all of Nail Road bottom floors remain commercial office.
Whitney, do we have something to protect us if they said, hey, we want to go 90% residential and 10% commercial? Is
No,
there-
and I mean, that's something you can discuss here. As long as the building's still classified and considered mixed-use development, it doesn't have a total square footage. Right now, the new building has approximately 2,000 square feet of usable space for commercial. I'm talking about like a yoga studio or a fitness center there, and a coffee place or an office-type setting. Obviously, the bottom floor on the other one's 100% commercial right now. It
How
was,
many units total they want to put over there?
on the new building,
Yeah.
how many units do you have?
38.
38.
Can we say that we want the whole bottom floor to be commercial, like the other building?
Well, I think that's one of the things they're asking here for now is the flexibility to either go,
I'm willing to give some flexibility, but I don't know that I'm willing to give up a large percentage. I don't have an issue with giving up a few apartments, but I don't know that I want apartments on the ground level
I don't either.
at all. I mean, that's just the way I feel. I don't know how the other aldermen feel, but what concerns me is our future. I mean, I know these guys are building a great quality, good development, but what concerns me is in the future that, 10 years down the road, they sell it to somebody else. Commercial's struggling, they put in all residential on the bottom floor and we're stuck at that
That's an
point.
apartment building.
well, yeah, if it converts to apartment building, it has to come back in front of us.
But from what you're telling me, if I understand correct, they put one business down there and it's not an apartment building.
I mean, it depends on
It's
how
mixed
you
use.
regulate it. Like I said, a mixed-use structure has got to have multiple uses on it. There's no definitive numbers from my standpoint, but that's something that this board, this is a PUD. So, a PUD is its own zoning. So if there's a contingency, you wanted to place, they did discuss the percentage, at the planning commission. They
They
decided
did?
not- They did. And I think the problem they ran into is the text amendment is for both lots. And like I said, right now, 100% of this building is occupied with commercial space down below. Say we let the interior, the side that's facing the south, go residential. That's still gonna put this one somewhere around 70% occupied with commercial. And then you have to add in, even if it's one or two over here, that almost
But if
gives you
we allow
80% of the
this-
bottom floors.
If
So-
we allow this, couldn't they move apartments to the other one too?
That's what,
In the
that's what his motion was, that nothing on Nail Road and Getwell Road side could be
I
residential.
like that.
I want the whole thing, but now you can't, that's gotta be commercial.
That's flexible. And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think people go over there for entertainment, restaurants, that kind of stuff. They're not going over to see apartments. I personally think if we have anything on the bottom floor besides commercial businesses, restaurants, that kind of thing, that it's gonna take away from the whole area over there
Well,
because that's what they go there for.
If they had apartments in the back, Charlie, I mean, just me talking, but if they had apartments in the back, I don't have an issue with that so much, because your commercial don't wanna go in the back anyway.
Yeah, well, I
so-
mean, and I'd be open to that. if
Where's
it
the
was in
entrance, the entrances for these apartments? Are they from the back of the building?
It's
new building.
shaped just like the old one was, the U shape.
Okay, so where there's an entrance to
You're
go
going
to
to
the
an
chop house,
interior
will there be
wall?
a door there for an apartment, or are you gonna come in from the back?
Yeah, so all the entrances to the apartments will be from an interior hallway. The main entrance into that building is,
Can you go back to the
Can you-
elevation? Can you zoom in maybe a little bit?
so they're on the top elevation.
Yeah.
You scroll to the right some.
Where it shows Town Square.
Apartment number over one of these doors.
No, everybody will
So
enter
what
through
apartments?
that door on the first floor under where it says Town Square. That's the main entrance to this complex, to this building. And then each unit will have a door from an interior hallway. So it won't have any exterior doors to the unit with a unit number or anything on it.
And that's the north elevation, so.
That's correct.
Will there be a back door into any of the businesses, like from that set hallway? Or will they be completely separate?
Looks like the storefronts are
This-
shown with the double pane doors right through there.
That's correct. So
Yeah,
the
I'm sure the
storefront
storefront
is there on either side of that main entrance door into the residential area that I discussed earlier. So they will have the potential to have access to the interior hallway if they want it. Otherwise, their main entrance will be from the exterior, just like any other commercial, the tenant on the existing building.
Do y'all have any potential commercial businesses wanting to go in there?
Can I ask that, Charlie?
Okay, yeah, I'd like to address the commercial, and as I said to, the correct title's Alderman, right? As I said to Alderman Wheeler, the world is overstored with retail. Certainly North America is overstored. I mean, I don't know about where you purchase, but you're not going, people don't go into stores nearly as much as they used to, right? The UPS man and the FedEx man are bringing the stuff they're buying. And that building, we've been managing it for the last couple of years. We put it under contract at the end of the year. Our plan and our goal is to acquire it from the existing owners and bring it back to its iconic, it is the picture on your city's website. It has had an iconic place in your city, and we've been managing it for years. The retail downstairs is now, other than Nail Road and Getwell Road, and even the Getwell Road frontage is pretty hidden. How much traffic is there on Nail Road? But we have worked with the existing tenants to extend them, expand them. Mesquite has entered into a 10-year extension with us. They want to expand their space, but by moving tenants around, relocating tenants, our goal is to have the first, I understand what you've said. Our goal is that the Getwell and Nail sides remain commercial, and I think that fits what the demand is. I mean, at the moment, everything on the first floor of the main building is full. I don't have any prospects for the first floor of a new building. I don't know how much demand there will be for commercial behind a Methodist outpatient clinic, which has no visibility. The tenants that are on the side of the building that would be the south side, they're around the corner from Lost Pizza, that's lousy retail space. And our hope is that we're adding to the tax base by building a building that people want to live in, by preserving the building, the assets that are here. And without some flexibility in terms of what the right uses are in the right mix, it makes it difficult. I don't have high expectations that retail's growing anywhere in North America. So adding more retail and requiring more retail is probably not the right answer for any situation. But hopefully we're preserving what's there.
So it's kind of like what you're telling us is this is gonna be an apartment complex.
No.
I mean, you know, because you don't have great hopes that you're gonna be able to
No,
rent it out.
the new building is, you know, there's one or two, our belief is there's maybe something related to the building, like a fitness center or something on the first floor. Maybe you can get a yoga studio or something there. But the new building is 38 units, 38 additional apartments. That's really what we're asking for in the new building.
And there's 16 now.
There's 16 in the existing, and what we want to do is convert the office space, which is empty. There's one office tenant in 9,000 square feet up, I'm sorry. There's one tenant upstairs. The total office space upstairs is approximately 9,000 square feet. There's one tenant in there.
Yeah, it's been empty for a while.
So
Oh,
that.
you've got office space upstairs? Currently?
When the building was originally built, there was 16 apartment units, approximately 30,000 square feet of retail space downstairs, and approximately 9,000 square feet of office. Mr. McCullough, Mr. Hurdle, and whoever else you said were the original guys, they had offices up there. And then I guess they moved their offices out, so there's one office tenant upstairs. The ENT was there for a while, he moved out.
Dr. Colton left like about a year ago.
Yeah, and we have nobody expressing interest for second-story office space there.
Well, and I can tell you, it's hard, that spot is hard, because as a resident, I can't tell you how many times somebody come up to me and want to know where the doctor's office was, and they have no idea how to get there, because you have to go inside, then you have to hit the elevator, go up, and it was confusing. So that was always more, I never understood that to begin with, and that was well before my time. I always figured that was better off just being lost anyway.
When we got involved with the building, I came down and I talked to Whitney and said, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? From a planning standpoint, I think the strategy we have is the right strategy. I think it's the right strategy for the real estate. I think it's the right strategy for the city. It's the right strategy for retail in North America. I mean, I've had vacancy since we evicted the filling station. I've had vacancy on that whole side. And knock on wood, I now have the north side full. But I only recently got that leased up. In this whole plan of moving people around and displacing people, I now have the first floor 100% leased. That's the best it's been occupied, leased since we've been managing it for 3 years now.
Just to be clear, I don't have any problems with you putting all apartments upstairs. It's the downstairs,
I understand. I mean, I understand, and I understand what Alderman Wheeler suggested in the amendment, that please keep Getwell and Nail as the Getwell and Nail first floor as commercial. I think that's practical. But the first floor in the new building sitting behind the Methodist as being retail,
It will be
that'll be empty.
It will be hidden. That part's true. When I look out my balcony, it's all
The two
there ain't-
tenants that are on the first floor that'll face that right now, that's not good. That's very destination retail space. It's a hair salon, it's a, it's like Botox, I don't know what all they.
I don't know, I've been over there.
I mean, that's very destination retail space. That's tough retail space. And if you forced it, I don't know that we'd want to build it, but even if it were built, I think it'd be sitting there empty. I think you'd end up creating blight. You'd rather create people that are gonna patronize Mesquite, patronize the pizza place, patronize the hair salon, patronize, he's calling it 10th Inning Grill, patronize the butcher shop. I mean, I'm putting, hopefully what we're doing, and we're not talking a large number of units, 38 units, not a lot of apartment units, but hopefully we're bringing patrons to these businesses.
How many units can you fit upstairs on this new unit?
Oh, the additional number of units?
Yes, sir.
In the space that is now office, about 8. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about.
Talking about the new building.
So you're wanting to add 8 more to the original, where the Dr. Colton.
Where, yeah, we want to put 8, we want to try to put some, take the office space, get rid of that, and put apartments up
All my
there.
2 cents, I'm glad to tell you some tips from that one. Walking too thin over there, but anyway, that's a whole other issue. So you're wanting to turn those, what about the new structure will be?
The new structure is 38 units, and we are thinking we can add 8 units where the 9,000 square feet of office space was upstairs.
Okay, but on the new unit, you say you want to put 38 units in the new unit.
Yeah.
How many can you fit upstairs?
Half of that. 19.
Okay, so you're telling me you want the whole, if you're wanting 38 units and you want 19 upstairs, you gotta have 19 downstairs.
And they might need 20 up because you have a little bit of commercial space.
It's gonna be some commercial building.
Yeah, there's some space down.
It'd be room for office space.
I'm excited about it. I think you've got a great idea. I don't have any issues. Me personally, I want a guarantee of at least a certain percentage of the new unit downstairs of office retail. I'm not commercial. Yes, I'm not comfortable at all with giving you a open book to just put it what you want there. I mean, not you. I think y'all would do fine. I'm concerned about people after y'all.
What percentage?
What percentage would be make me happy? I'd be fine with 50%
At the bottom?
of the bottom.
I'd be happy with 75.
I'd be happy with 25. I just see it from a business. I mean, he's right, we're gonna create vacancies if we do it. We can pick out which one we wanna do. We wanna put people there, we wanna put vacant buildings there.
I'm just afraid that, I mean, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And, if we get this moratorium on apartments, we can call it whatever we want, but that's what it's.
Moratorium, but the moratorium's not about mixed use.
But no, but what I'm saying
Two
is,
different things.
is this building, we've already been told that this
Right.
building is gonna be more than likely 100% residential. That's an apartment building, I don't care what they call it. That's the way I feel. So, I'm gonna vote no, unless we can get 50% or whatever on the bottom floor. And according to him, it doesn't sound like that's gonna be workable for you.
I think you're beat, I think as the Alderman said, you're gonna force, what you're gonna end up with is probably vacant land. Because it's not a workable, viable.
But that's one of our biggest growing areas over there, and if, I'm sure that if this doesn't go there, something else will too. So, I mean, I understand your concerns and that kind of stuff, but, I mean, the people I represent don't want apartments, period. So, that's just the way I have to vote for it. If you can give us a 50% and think you can work with that, and it's
50% on the
workable.
bottom level, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
And you can put 100% on the top.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's,
Okay. We're at a short board right now. We're missing 2 votes, 2 aldermen.
right.
I would make a motion that we table this.
well, that's just, John, that's just stacking the deck, though.
I'm not stacking the deck.
I'm fine with tabling it.
How's it stacking the deck?
I'd
Well,
like
I
to
mean,
get the other
you know,
aldermen's
because
input.
Because it's not gonna, you assume it's not gonna go the way you want it to go?
I'm just saying that, tonight was the night it was designed to go.
Well, no, but
for.
that's what, part of parliamentary procedure.
Right.
Is having the chance to table things.
Right.
So, if someone makes a motion to table and there's a second, then then you can discuss whether you want to table or not, then you can table
And-
it.
and if we-
But hold on, just because you think the votes are maybe in your favor, and that's not a reason to, but you can vote against tabling it too. You have every right. So if others agree with you, you don't have to, you can table it.
Maybe we could get some more solid number, if we tabled it, maybe we could get some more solid numbers from you as to what you think would be workable downstairs for retail space.
Alderman Wheeler, did you make a motion to table? I did. I'll second that motion.
Got a motion by Alderman Wheeler to table, second by Alderman Payne. Any discussion on table, about table?
The motion to table will be table and then continue the hearing at the next board meeting, because this was a hearing. for-
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be.
So, yeah, let the minutes reflect that.
That motion to table and continue until the June.
First meeting in June.
That's what your mo, if that's what it's voted, that's the motion.
Okay, so is there any discussion on voting against tabling it? Hearing none. Roll call.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Hoots.
No.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Motion passes. So that it, we don't have nothing on the second?
Well, there's a second one, but there's no point, if that one's tabled, there's no point going to the design review on
Well,
that one.
So.
So we'll have
So-
to, I guess, make a motion to table that one?
The design review didn't have to have a hearing, though, did it?
No, it's not under the public hearing.
Just so you,
It's
the
just
minutes
one we can
reflect
leave
that
as-
the motion to table, the motion for the, the design review was held over to the June 4th meeting.
Under mayor's report, we need to do the condemned properties. We didn't get to do last night. So I'll entertain a motion for condemned properties.
Mr. Mayor,
Sign on here.
we condemn the properties as listed on the statement.
Second. Got a motion by Alderman Payne, second by Alderman Kelly. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to speak on any of those properties? Has a financial interest in any of those properties? Hearing or seeing none, any discussion from the board? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, citizens agenda. Do we don't have anybody signed up? Is there anybody who wants to speak? Doesn't look that way. City attorney's legal update.
I'll be quick. Two quick items. First, as you remember, the contracts for the Gateway Road property, all of those been approved or authorized to enter those wouldn't have passed. I'm just going to make a note that we're entering those into the minutes tonight for May Boulevard and Getwell.
No motion.
No motion. It's just for the 3278 May Boulevard and for the Gateway Road property. Just make a note that those be entered into the minutes, and the minutes will reflect that based on the resolution authorizing those contracts. No motion. And then secondly, I got this at 5 o'clock tonight. We had just an emergency repair for a sewer lift station at Lauderdale Estates, amount of $8,488. So pursuant to 31.713, I think it's K, the authorization to approve emergency repair in the amount of $8,448 for the Lauderdale Estates sewer lift station for the health and safety of the residents.
So moved.
Second.
Somebody had a motion. I got a motion by Alderman Wheeler, second by Alderman Payne. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman who?
Yes.
Alderman Payne.
Yes.
Alderman Gallagher.
Yes.
Alderman Wheeler.
Yes.
Motion carries. That's it. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Alderman Kelly, second by Alderman Gallagher. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Ayes have it, motion carries. We are hereby adjourned.